Somewhere last week, I was going to the High Court, and then I had to make a brief stop at.
Were you arrested or what?
I was going to the High Court.
Are you going to jail or what?
For my
Which High Court? The Adenta one.
No, the Accra one. Not the Adenta. So I made a brief stop at the custom area. They have a car park there. There is a woman there.
That's the court the new one.
The new one,
Okay.
but customs is the opposite there. There's a woman there that.
Not with Broning Katia.
That be breakfast and opano or corner no masala chini side. So when I sat down, immediately about 3 people came to me. I do not know, but because of the work that we do, and apparently they are freight forwarders. So they ambushed me with this Publican Ai problem, and they started making all sort of allegations against the system. So I listened carefully to them, and I also preferred my solution to the whole matter. Because you see, I'm also an importer. So sometimes I have an issue with Asake when he creates the impression that he's representing all importers. I'm an importer, you understand?
That's the bottom line.
That's the bottom line. You see, whether we like it or not, we need AI at the port. I do business in the port of Jebel Ali, that is Dubai. It's been there, Tara platform, everyone knows it.
You can't escape it.
You can't escape it. And it has a correlation between perceptions. If your custom officers are not to be trusted, some of these things happen. Because I don't remember the last time I went to Jebel Ali and saw the way it's congested, people moving up. It's a seamless process. People sit in the office like Elikem was saying, do everything. We don't have any problem with invoicing because the invoices that are coming out are germane, very true. You see, again, when you listen to the publican, yes, the AI will determine the true value. But it is for the custom officer to also make a determination. It means we are still handing back the power to the custom officer. What I hear the freight forwarders say is that they are not too sure the parameters within which the AIs are operating. Because, believe you me, AI is not a human being. It's not any superfluous anything. It is human beings that impute the data and guess outcome. It's garbage in, garbage out. So if the parameters that have been set forward by the AI is wrong, you will get wrong outcome. And so, to that extent, I agree with the freight forwarders that there has to be some levels of openness in terms of the parameters. And one of the things that I've said, in those days that they had not introduced, this AI, you go to customs. How were they determining values? You have submitted your invoice. And then you go to a room, you have these young girls and boys who have been placed behind a PC. And what they will be doing is that they go on Google. You say, this phone, you bought it 1 cedi. Then they will go on Google and check whether, how much is it?
What's the average price?
So if they go on Google and then they see that it's 2 cedi, they say your invoice is wrong, which is not the case. Because you see, we also have beyond these invoices, we all have relationship with our vendors. Suppliers. Something that you can get it 3 cedi, I can get it 2 cedis. Depending on how long I've done business with a person.
Okay. So let me ask a question.
Yes.
In my interface with the Ministry of Finance,
yes,
and they, of course, seconding me to somebody at GRA.
Yes.
The system works in such a way that it strikes averages of a price of particular product,
yes,
or that has been imported.
Yes.
And so if, let's say, the product,
yes,
costs $100,
yes,
at the FOB,
yes,
port of destination, and you are saying yours is $80,
yes,
the average price, $100,
yes,
is what is captured by the system.
Yes.
And if that is the average price, it means it can go up or go down.
Yes.
So once they strike the average,
yes,
then they begin to say that then you have a complaint to make,
yes,
because you need to justify why your price is 80.
Absolutely.
And so they say go to the complaint committee or section.
Yes.
They say they have a problem that the committee only sits twice in a week.
Which delays the process.
The process.
Yes. I mean, I agree with them there.
But where we have already those that have gone through generating, so to speak, X values, yes, of revenue.
Yes.
better than what was recorded 2-3 weeks ago.
Exactly.
Then you have to say that the GRA is a bit justified in that process.
No, I'm even coming there. You see, the point is that you don't have to just take the faith forward, whatever they are saying, as a gospel truth. You remember, and so I was very surprised when Aaron was making that there have to be engagement. I was in the MPP. MPP brought the ICOMs. Do you know the opposition that he faced? At the point, they were calling for the head of Alan Chamante.
Nick's ICOM.
ICOM. That he was the trade minister. Today, one of their releases, the same faith forwarders are rather praising the ICOMs. At that time, they were saying that the government should revert back to the GC net. So every new product, people will fight it. But what I'm saying is that I see some lacuna with this AI. The parameters must be set right. You see, when they say value, you know the invoice values that we present. There is a difference between the cost of item and the value of an item. Value of an item is cost plus margin. You understand? So depending on the relationship between me and you can put a margin of 10% on my item, the item that I'm buying from you, whereas a new person buying, the margin will be 20%. It is very common in business. So if you are going to strike an average of, say, $100 for a product, but I was given a margin of 10% and my invoice value is $90, you cannot tell me that my invoice is wrong. Again, to the extent that 75.3% have been able to go through the system as being legitimate, then the 24.7 that we are dealing with, let's go into it and find out. But I will be the last person to say that we must throw the AI away. There are a lot of, excuse my French, things happening at the port. That goes to disadvantage the Ghanaians. You see, sometimes our Ghanaians, they don't understand what time it is. Between the Ghanaian and the foreigners that import into this country, we are the foreigners who import more into this country. So if it is going to affect anybody, who is it going to affect? You have a lot of foreigners who have taken over our market, and they are the ones behind some of these people complaining. The average Ghanaian, how much we import into this country? Go to customs and check the volumes. That's why I always say that we should measure GNP, that's the gross national product, versus the gross domestic product. Because the gross domestic product measures every good coming into this country, whether it belongs to a foreigner or a Ghanaian. But the gross national product measures what the Ghanaian is doing. You understand? I am not in for people that a system that charges above average, because it has a potential of also introducing inflation, imported inflation into the system. But we must also be truthful to ourselves. It's a chicken and egg situation. Every government does not have money. The money comes from taxation. Now, the same people that we are complaining, we will need roads, schools, hospitals, and so on and so forth. Then we also do not have to be priced out of the market.